Everyone. It is January 23rd, and this is RV in New England. And excuse me, my voice is still a little shallow since the Boston show and spoke with 11 seminars in 4 days over the weekend. I'm going to call up John here and get a show going for this evening. Hey, John.
Bob, good evening. It's nice to get to know that it's Wednesday night again and another week closer to springtime.
Well, that's true. I feel like I've been with you every day for the last week. We just come off 4 days at the Boston show, got a couple of days in between for a break, and now we're back on live TV tonight. So
back ready to go again. Well, so many of our viewers that came to the show, and some of whom we don't know in person, but came up to say hello, and several of them asked me if I was Bob. And you got a nice compliment.
I don't know how to mistake that.
A nice compliment because of that. But Walt was there, Martin was there, and Gail Hogan stopped by to say hello.
She did. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, even when we were doing our live videos from the show, many of our regulars were commenting, like Shirley was in Florida. I don't know if Shirley will be with us tonight. But she was in Florida, and we had a great time. Sunday was rough.
When we were in the Dutch Star with Mark Lebrecht, you had people coming in that recognized us and say, "Hey, I know these guys. I watch their show every week."
Yep. So, Mark was impressed.
Yeah. All right. Let's bring Joe Gonsalves up. Good evening, Joe. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you guys doing, John, Bob? Good to see you.
I'm all right. Joe.
Fantastic. So it was our time in the spotlight last weekend, Joe. It's your time in the spotlight this weekend as you kick off the Hartford show. But there's probably a lot of people on here that may not know that. Number one, you're the man behind the scenes down there, but number two, the extensive background that you've got in show management. So why don't you give them a little flavor for who you are and what you do?
Well, Bob, this is our 37th year doing the RV and Camping show. We started in 1983 at the Hartford Civic Center, which was home of the Hartford Whalers at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And
had the roof collapsed yet, Joe?
The roof we started the RV show about 6 or 7 years after the roof collapsed.
After the roof collapsed, okay.
I believe that was in 1978, 77 or 78. And we started the show in 1983 with my dad, and we continue to run it. We've moved to the Expo Center, which was a little bit bigger than a Civic Center, and now we're at the Connecticut Convention Center with 140,000 square feet. And we have over about 15 dealers this year. The show has grown and grown and grown.
It's a great show. It's an absolutely beautiful building where it's pretty majestic when you come in. You come up that big escalator, and there's the show right ahead of you.
It's probably one of the prettiest convention centers, I would say, in New England.
Mm-hmm.
It's, the lobby gives you that effect that you walk into this big, huge building, and when you walk into the show, it's just an enormous building with great atmosphere in it, and the positive comments and about how clean the place is and how beautiful the place is. The management of the building is stuck on making this place a destination and making it convenient for everybody to visit.
Well, you get a good point.
You run that building?
What's that, John?
Is it SMG that runs that building or Global?
It's the Waterford Group.
The people that own the hotel.
Yeah, Waterford Group.
Okay.
They're known for their Marriotts and several other hotel groups that they run.
Yeah, we know about a Courtyard that's a Waterford Group.
Yeah,
that's the same group one.
Yeah.
Same group.
And they run that hotel, that Marriott hotel that's adjacent to it. And you know what, Joe? You've got a scenario down there even closer than Boston because people can go right from, if they want to stay over, they can go right from the convention center right into the hotel without ever going outdoors.
No, I mean, that's the beauty of it. I mean, the exhibitors love it. I mean, people that come from out of town love it. They stay right at the Marriott. They don't even have to put their coat on. They go take the elevator down, and they get on the escalator and come up. It's a great feature of being where we're located. And the other great feature about where this building's located, we're exactly 100 miles from New York, 100 miles from Boston, and literally right off both interstates by about 0.8 of a mile.
How far are you from Burlington? Because I know Pete's RV is a big exhibitor at your show, such as he was at our show this weekend. But do you know mileage-wise how far you are from Burlington?
I mean, Burlington, Vermont. I'm not sure exactly how many miles.
90, 150.
I'm going to say about
It's about 200 miles.
How many?
Yeah.
About 200 because you know, it's 25 to Springfield, and then 50 in Massachusetts, then 60 to get up to White River Junction, and then another 90 to get up to Burlington. So 6,950.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 225 miles.
I'd say about that. I mean, I know the guys from Pete's RV, when they make the trip down, it's a 3-hour trip for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got Pete's RV and you got Vermont, well, what's now called Country Camper, which used to be Vermont Country Camper and New Hampshire Country Camper. So like ourselves, you're drawing from far away because people in New England, they like to go to RV shows. Yeah. And these guys draw all over New England.
I mean, it's amazing that, I mean, we have our coupon online at ctrvshow.com, and the emails that come in, I get them from all over, all the way up from the Great Lakes area, all the way down. I've got a couple today from like Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Wow.
You know, I mean, it's like, and I got a couple last week from Portland, Maine. I mean, it's amazing how people will travel to come to these RV shows, and it's good. It's great to hear that the Boston show did very well. So, because with the good news from there, that means that the Hartford show and the dealers are being excited about it because they've come from a great show and they're coming to another show, and where the weather's going to be great this weekend. So they get very, very excited when they have a positive reaction.
Well, yeah, and you're right. You know, despite we had one day that was total washout with the snow and the rain and what have you, and we still think we're probably going to come pretty close to our numbers from last year. But even on the day when every forecaster, every weather station was telling people, stay home, don't go on the roads, we still had almost 1,000 people. And guys were writing some great deals because they were able to spend some quality time. And you know, as a show producer, the one thing that we always like to do is give them as many bodies as we can. But sometimes it's so many bodies that they can't get to all the people that they want to talk to. Right. So they have to pick out the good prospects versus the bad ones. And yeah, it can be really challenging weather-wise. How is your forecast for the weekend? I think it's pretty good, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, as of right now, I mean, Friday's supposed to be in the mid-40s. Saturday, I think Friday night drops down a little bit. I think it's going down to like 24 or so, and then Sunday they're expecting a few snow showers in the evening. Other than that,
and you got to be the luckiest guy in town, Joe, because we are practically guaranteed that on one day of our show we're going to get the Patriots. And you sit here in the bye week. You don't have to worry about the Patriots. You don't have to worry about the Super Bowl. You're sitting in the middle.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's actually a godsend. I mean, normally if we had been a week earlier, I mean, which normally believe it or not, for the next 4 years, I'm in the bye week.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. You don't have to compete. Although outside of the Patriots, there aren't many other teams in the Northeast that you'd have to compete with, Joe, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, hey, come on. Us Giants fans got to stick somewhere. Maybe we'll make it next year.
Yeah.
Let me take a minute and acknowledge some of our regulars who are joining us, Walter Swenson. And Walter, Joe tells me he doesn't know you, so we will introduce you to him. Walter and his lovely wife are the new state directors for Massachusetts. He's on the Mass Pike on his way to Clearwater Beach. So are we supposed to feel sorry for you, Walter? Now, I don't think you have your truck back, though, do you? He had an accident with his truck. I don't think he's got the truck back.
I think he did. I think he was talking about getting the truck back.
Yeah. Estelle Drew is here. Great meeting John at the show. Thank you for taking time to meet us. Had a great time. Thank you, Estelle.
You know, I was
probably too busy working. What?
You notice she said, great meeting John.
Yes, I did.
She didn't say great meeting Bob and John at the show.
Well, that's because Bob was working so hard.
Yeah. Oh.
So we got Dwayne Cyrus. Well, we probably got him and lost him. Dwayne's our Winnebago rep, and because he's got a new job now, Joe. So he's in business development with the dealers, and I know he was down at the Tampa show. He was not at our show this year. He says, "Have a great show this weekend."
Yeah.
And tonight, can't hang around. We'll watch the complete show later. Chris Barry says, "Nice meeting you on Sunday." That's good, Sam. Now that's probably still Rhonda and Joe. I'm guessing. Probably closer for Pete to bring units from Massachusetts. That's true. Pete has got the Connecticut operation and Massachusetts operations now, so he doesn't have to lug everything down.
The best thing about with Pete's RV, they strictly bring that. It's a full Jayco display, which is their Connecticut store.
Right.
And they bring every single model that Jayco makes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they don't even have to use the Massachusetts resources. They've got the old Vans location in Windsor, just 10 minutes from the venue.
It's literally 15 minutes up the street.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave Emery says $12 per person to get in plus parking, way too much. Dave, I have a typical answer, and I don't want you to think I'm a smart ass with this answer, but we tell people the shows are designed to show you a representative sampling and to introduce you to the dealers in the area. We had over 200 units on display. We had over 20 dealers there who had boards with all of their inventory and all their used inventory. Stop and think what it would cost you to visit those same 20 dealers in your vehicle between gas, mileage, and meals. And I don't mean to be smart like that, but that's the whole purpose of the show. And we want people to understand that. And I think Joe would tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
These dealers,
Bob, can I weigh in on that a little bit?
Please do. That's why you're here, Joe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to look at. Shows have been going on for years. Whether it's a home show, a boat show, a RV show, auto shows. It's a place where people can come and shop for a variety of different things. And as you mentioned, you can see I got over a dozen dealers at my show that have products. You can actually sit and spend time with them. Yep. The other thing is too, as you take a look at some of the other shows, we're all very competitive. Whether you're in Springfield, you go to the Boston show, whether you go to the Rhode Island show, the Edison, New Jersey show, they're all about the same price. And, some shows have, I got my discount coupon online and at ctrvshow.com. So, we do offer some discounts. The parking at the convention center used to be an event parking rate, which they've now eliminated over the past 2 years. It's just like going to any other city. Now you charge they charge by the first, don't quote me on it, but I believe the first half hour is $3, or the first hour is $3, and each additional hour is $2. So if you're there for approximately 3 hours, it costs you $7 to park. Yeah. Which is pretty inexpensive considering Springfield charges $5, but when you go to the Boston show, it's $25.
Yeah, 20 to 50 was the range.
Right. It depends on which spot you're parking.
20 and 25 at the valet, but it's Boston.
It's Boston, yeah. So it's a major market. You go to the New York Boat Show. It's for a family of 4. It's probably $200 by the time you finish.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Just be aware of that, Dave. We certainly appreciate you joining in, and don't leave us. Stick around for the whole show. Yeah. All right, Swenson does not have a truck. He's taking the big silver bird in the sky. So Scott Nichols joined us from Marshfield. Hello again, Scott.
We're delivering the State of the Union.
Yeah, Andy Parr, are you guys delivering the State of the Union? We might as well, because this government can't figure out between the Democrats and the Republicans how to run the damn government. So,
and I'm not locked out of my own house.
Right. We may as well deliver it for them. We could probably do just as good a job.
And I've got security here too.
Nick Wright. Nick is on, all prepped, and we will see everyone at the show. Nick is with Unlimited RV down there in, I want to say, Milford, right?
We're just on the other side of, just near Hemlock Hill.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, and Nick is one of the larger rental companies in Connecticut. He'll be glad to talk to you about that. And he also sells sales. So thank you for joining us tonight, Nick. And Jim Sebanowski down in Hemlock, speaking about Hemlock Hills. says, "Hey guys, it's Jim from Jim's Corner RV Camping and Cocktails." Yeah, and on the side he sells for Hemlock Hill, but he loves his cocktails. I do have mine. I just want you to know, Jim, I am well prepared.
Was Jim in Boston?
Huh? Jimmy with Hemlock Hill, yeah.
Was he in Boston?
No. He drew the short straw and had to stay home in Hartford.
Home, okay.
They sent Jesse. They sent the A team to Boston.
Oh,
because it's such a challenging show.
Hey,
and
Bob, Joe can verify this. I just figured out you can tell people it's like, look for the yellow shirts for Pete's, look for the blue shirts for Longview, look for the what else? The green shirts for Hemlock.
Red ones for Cold Springs. Red ones for Cold Springs. Yeah.
Yeah. We just got to make sure they're in that show.
Yeah.
We got to make sure they're in that show.
So Jim does a great job. Jim, with Hemlock, he's one of the smart salespeople. He has his own Facebook page, and he sends out cocktail recipes to his customers, and tips them off on a good sales unit or a trade-in unit that's come in. He gives them the first peek on it. So he knows what he's doing down there. He does a great job. He's always all the great people. So come see it at the Hemlock Hill.
Joe, your show is probably very similar to Boston in that it's going to have peak times and it's going to have shoulder times. And as Bob and I said last week, the best times to come to a show, if you want to spend time with a dedicated time with a sales rep who really can take you from one trailer to another, where would you recommend that our viewers consider going where it's not going to be as crowded and they might get lost in the shuffle?
Well, I mean, if anybody wants to shop on Friday is the day. I mean, if you want to spend some quality time with a dealer, Friday is the day. I mean, it's the slower the day. I mean, if you want to come, another time is Saturday afternoon after 4:00 is another great time. It's a great time to come down. And the best thing is when you can spend some time with a dealer and you get all the questions and you can see each person, you can go have dinner at one of the little local restaurants across the street, and you can come back after discussed it with your wife and your family. Come back. I mean, you get your hand stamped or leave us your name. We'll be happy to let you back in. If you come Friday and you want to come back Saturday and the dealer wants to leave you a couple, tickets to come back to look at something or review it over the weekend, we're happy to let those people back.
Right. And I think it's important to say that in addition to selling, educating the consumer is just as important, because it can be rather daunting if you're just getting into the RV lifestyle for the first time. You don't know the difference between a travel trailer, a motorhome, a fifth wheel, a toy hauler, pop-up, hybrid. There's so many. But I think Zagami is going to take care of that at your place too as well. Is that right, Bob?
Yes, I am. But talk about your seminar programs, Joe.
Well, I mean, it's great. Bob's going to be there. You're going to talk about lifestyle. I mean, I don't have the list in front of me right now. I'm sitting here at the show, but I believe that you're going to be talking about lifestyle of an RV, about how you can take advantage of the websites and different travel areas that you can do.
Yep. The internet resources plus the introduction to RVs and lifestyle and
lifestyle. And then we got Randy Murray from Pete's RV. Everybody knows him as Randy on YouTube, or Randy from Pete's. He's going to do on travel buying trailer tips. Travel trailer
buying tips, and also his spring checkup list, which he did in Boston, which is always very well received.
Spring, what to look for.
Plus, he's going to sing some ZZ Top songs too, because he looks like
but his seminars are great. And then we have the other ones we got coming is the
Brian from.
I don't have it in front of me right now.
I got the list here, Joe. You got Brian Arthur from the Hall of Fame, representing the Hall of Fame with a couple of vintage RVs.
Brian from Two Feathers Restoration is going to be there representing them. He's going to talk about some of the vintage type of stuff and give you a little bit of education on the history of RVing for the museum. And I mean, we got some good seminars. We really do.
Yeah. You got them all, and they're well attended. And I forgot to ask you when we talked earlier today. Do we have the large TV or do we have the projector?
Bob, I bought you the brand new 70-inch.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's going
So
to be fantastic.
you can hook your laptop right in it, and you're all good, ready to go.
Beautiful. All right. That's fantastic. Let me see here. We got Laurie Church and Michelle from Rolling on TV and two
Where
gals.
are they now?
Well, they just got to Prescott Valley. They had a canceled flight in Detroit due to the ice and freezing rain. They were supposed to make the connection at 8 p.m. last night, but they chose instead to sleep at the Detroit airport and got a scheduled flight out this morning. So they are just arriving in Arizona. And they actually covered our show on Saturday and did a lot of footage for Rolling On. Ed LaTurco is on. Happy birthday, Ed. It's nice of you to share your birthday with us. I'm glad Marion let us. Hope everybody's well at home. Jim likes our laughter. Who says this? New England RV Dealers. That's got to be Michelle. Hi, guys. Wow, what we went through emphasized why we have an RV. We had to fly this time, and what a disaster. Well, that's why people have RVs. And that, and speaking of RVs, and one of the things that I noticed this year, Joe, and I'm sure it holds true for your show, for some reason, I just felt that there was a much better selection of product. I mean, we had truck campers. You always, you get more than we do on the truck campers, but we had truck campers. We had teardrops. We had fold downs. We had pop-ups, hybrids, everything up to the 45-foot diesel pushes. So as you walked around today during setup, anything unique that you saw, or would you agree that you're going to have a pretty good mix of product this year?
No, we have a great mix of product, but it's funny. The Hartford show, it's a little bit different. We don't have the pop-ups like we used to. The dealers don't bring them because they don't sell at our show. The Hartford area seems to bring a little bit higher end of the campers. They bring. I got a couple nice big buses. I think one of them was. We had one in there today. I think the guy said it was 500 and something thousand.
Yep.
But Hemlock Hill brought a couple. The small, I can't remember the name of them.
The Sylvan
From
Sport.
Earl Hunter there in South Carolina or North Carolina.
Yeah, the Silver Sport. Silver Gold. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got some of that. We got actually this year we have quite a few Class B motorhomes this year, which I was very surprised to see. A lot of Class Bs.
They are hot. We had more this year than any other year. Yep.
And I haven't seen any. I didn't think I saw any teardrops today, but I also signed up a gentleman the other day that has these the campers. They're made in South Africa, and it's almost a what do you call them? It's like a rooftop. It's like a pop-up, but it's like almost a rooftop. But it's got the high wheels for like for boondock camping.
Yeah.
Got the big wheels on it that you hook to your CJ and you take it out in the woods and it sets up.
It must be American Fastback. It must be.
No, we have American Fastback. Flag has brought one of those from American Fastback from Heimer. And then we have, but this thing here is pretty unique. And I just can't think of the name of it off the tip of my tongue, but I'm very excited that he's doing the show.
Yeah. And you also get a good selection of campground and auxiliary, accessory suppliers at your show. You got that whole row down the left-hand side that keeps people pretty busy.
Yeah, we have quite a few. We got a great variety this year. I think it's probably one of the best varieties of whether it's an accessory, whether it's a campground, whether it's a service exhibit type guy, somebody like Bolton Notch RV or Certified RV, who's been with us for years. They do a great.
Hey, have we given the times and days yet?
We haven't.
I can give them to you, Bob.
Go ahead.
Friday, the 25th, January 25th, we're from 12 noon until 9 p.m. Saturday on the 26th, we're 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. And on Sunday, the 27th, we are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Everybody has to remember, too, as we close our box office 1 hour prior to closing times.
You're really working those exhibitors on Friday. It's a 9-hour day. You're working those exhibitors on Friday.
Well, I mean, it's a 9-hour day.
10 hours on what? 10 hours on Saturday.
Well, we start there about 7 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you get that full day on Friday, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then actually you get three full days out of
Three
it.
full days, and the dealers like it. I mean, a lot of the shows that open up at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock on a Friday, they don't get that full thing. We have a great Friday opening always.
It's interesting, yeah. Because what else should people know about the show, Joe?
I mean, we covered the seminars, we
Yep.
covered the campgrounds. Like I said, again, we have a great variety of dealers. I mean, they today during setup, everybody was very excited. I think they just had that aura coming out of Boston that they had a really good time in Boston, and they're really excited to be here in Hartford.
Well, I know you have some because you're not a NERVDA show like our Boston show is, but
Right.
I know you have other dealers there. But from a standpoint of our NERVDA dealers, you got Diamond RV, you got Flag RV, you got Hemlock Hill, you got Lee's Auto and RV Ranch. We got the Roberts team at Longview RV. You got Pete's RV team, and you got the now Country Camper. Now, I'm not sure. I think their signage is probably what they had in Boston. It says Country Camper, but it's the former Vermont Country Campers and New Hampshire Country Campers.
Right.
So you got a good selection of our guys down there, and we appreciate it, and we're glad to see them supporting your show.
Yeah, I mean, again, the RV Dealers Association, the dealers have always supported my show, and I'm be happy to support them all the time. And even during the off season, they always call me and ask me for a little suggestion or a little advice, and vice versa. And it's after 37 years, we've all become just a great group of family people that, I worked with a lot of people that, with generations. I've worked with some of the grandfathers. Now I dealt with the fathers. Now I'm dealing with some of the sons and grandsons. I mean, and just like me coming from a family business, we've all got to know each other. We all respect each other, and they're just a great bunch of people.
So, Joe, is that back when you and Bob both had a full head of black hair?
Yeah, I mean that was the days, down to the shoulders,
Well, that's
Really?
Is
that right?
My role model was Bob, so I wanted to look just like him.
Yeah, I lost mine before you lost yours. We tend to talk about it almost every week, but we talk about this community that we have in New England and the multi-generational dealerships. I mean, you got Longview coming up. This is their 60th anniversary for Longview. And was it Arlington just finished up their, I don't know, what was that, the 60th, John, I think?
Yeah.
70th. I mean, we got guys 30, 40, 50, 60 years in the RV business. And like you say, the grandfather, the father, and the sons, and they get the next generation coming along. And, it builds a tremendous relationship and steady customers because they take care of them. They have to take care of them. They're not like the big box guys. They're not gigantic stores.
No, even though we have a couple of the big guys, I mean, you know what? They're great people too. I mean, everybody respects one another, and that's one thing I love about being in the RV business is whether you're talking to the Connecticut Campground Owners Association and you sit at the meeting and you listen to everybody that talks. It's just a great feeling, the camaraderie that's there within the groups.
Joe, outside of dealers, what other types of businesses will be represented there? Will there be a lot of campgrounds?
Yeah, this is probably one of our best years of having campgrounds. I think we're probably over almost probably 30 campgrounds, I believe, that'll be there. And plus, then we have every New England state except for Vermont Association, and then we have the Campground Owners of New York, and we also have the New Jersey Campground Owners Association. So
it's an international show.
Almost, yes. We're getting close.
Well, if you bring New Jersey, which is somewhat of a foreign country,
yeah, exactly. I mean,
it would be considered international.
I just noticed too, you because I was reading off the dealers that have the dealer displays, but you also have Fuller RV Rentals in the row of 10 by 10. Cherry will be there with her. She did her booth all over this year. She got a kind of a new, refreshed booth, and
she got a new look.
Yeah, she was the boss. Tell her what happened to her at the Boston show. She told me that story.
I saw her on what day was it raining? Sunday?
Sunday.
I mean, snowing.
Snowing. Rain. No, we had a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So she came in and she had a couple security guards with her, and I thought something was wrong. I thought maybe people stole stuff out of her booth, but basically she basically what she did was she was walking from her car with a brand new set of brochures, and she slipped a little on the ice. The brochures fell into the water.
Oh,
Then she had to go into the water to pick them up. And when I saw her, she was halfway up to her knees in water.
oh,
And her boots couldn't have been that higher, so her feet were probably soaked. So but you know what? She's probably one of the hardest workers in this business because, again, they're a family business, but her husband and son stay home and run the show, and she does every hour of every show.
I know she has. She's been with me since probably, I can't remember how long Shirley's been with me.
Every hour, right, Bob? Every hour of every show, Sherry's there.
Yep, she doesn't miss.
Doesn't complain.
Nope.
And, she drives home. She doesn't stay down there. She drives home. And she's just hilarious.
Yeah.
No, great lady. Great lady.
Yeah. Well, Joe, I know you've been there since probably before the sun came up, and you got another full day tomorrow. So we want to thank you for being with us tonight. Any last comments? Certainly, we want to invite everybody down to Hartford this weekend. It's a great show, and Hartford's a nice city, and there's plenty of good restaurants. You got restaurants right in the hotel that are fantastic. And this is easy to get to. I mean, it's just
literally right off the highway. I mean, you can't.
And Bob,
center in New England, you can't get any better location and ease of getting to.
Right, you see it. You take 2 left turns off the highway, and you are in the parking
You're
garage.
in the parking lot.
And if they're coming from Eastern Connecticut along 84, our favorite is we always make it a habit to stop at Ryan's Deli.
Right.
That is one of my favorite places there in Vernon.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Any closing comments, Joe? You want to welcome everybody to come down and visit?
I just want to say thanks for you guys having me. For the listeners that are out there, if you want to get a discount coupon, go to that ctrvshow.com. Fill out the little form. We'll email it right to you. And like I say, I mean, look us up. All the information is online for you. So we'll be happy to help you, and we'd love to have the host, anybody that wants to come down to see us. Bob's going to be there Saturday and Sunday.
I'll be, Saturday and Sunday doing seminars, yep.
And John, I'm sure you're going to be down at some point. And
bringing the grandkids down to run around.
Yeah, and look forward to seeing both of you.
Great. All right, thank you, guys.
All right.
And we will see everybody next Wednesday night. Oh, Bill Smith said enjoyed the show. Thank you. And Jim Conboy, Jim here. Jim, we're doing a shortened version tonight. Jim is going to, Jim, good thing you jumped on, Jim. I promised Jim that I would mention him because I left him off on one of my posts. Jim is with New England RV Roof. And wait till you see their display this year, Joe. Yeah, I don't know if he's got it in already. He's got a mock-up of a fifth wheel and a motorhome. And they do replacement roofs with an incredible product. So I promised him I would give him a plug. Damn, it's a good thing you joined in there, Jim. I would have forgot you and owed you a couple of favors there. But the team will be down there again. Yep. Laturco says, what was the attendance for this year's show in comparisons to previous shows? Haven't got the numbers yet, Ed. I think we're probably going to be plus or minus 1,000 on where we were last year, which, given the storm and everything, I'll take that any day of the week. We were killed on Saturday. We probably doubled our attendance on Saturday. All right, folks. Next week will be January 30th, and January will be just about in our rearview mirror. So camping season is getting closer. Joe, thank you very much for joining us. See you guys.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Bye.
Bye.